Basically what can happen is rodenticide can get into the environment, and the way it does that is it can be picked up not only by target species but non-target species as well. So if you've got non-target rodents that have access to rodenticide, when they die, the possibility is that they can be picked up by a non-target species such as a bird of prey. So that process allows the rodenticide to be transmitted into the non-target species via the dead rodent, whether that's a target rodent or whether it's not a target rodent. So that means that the birds of prey, foxes, weasels, there is a level of rodenticide contamination that is present in a number of species throughout the environment in the UK.
I think historically with farming and pest control we put down some poison, and we think we're doing the job correctly. We would keep our paperwork for it so we knew what we were doing. But I think realistically when we look at how the job is carried out and performed now, and all the different options we've got after doing the course and becoming a bit more educated to it, we can see we've got to do it in a more professional way. And actually when we do that, it seems to make the job easier, and our understanding of the job is helping us.
Anybody who uses a professional use rodenticide has a responsibility to manage that rodenticide, manage its application to ensure that these levels are brought down over the coming years. That will be a key aspect in the actual registration and the maintaining of these products on the market in a safe and efficient way, that where they can still be used to control the rodents whilst managing the risk to the environment. So any professional user of a professional use rodenticide has that responsibility going forward.
We keep records and we bait a lot, so we use more granular bait around the farm and in various locations, and we're moving it around to try and attack them in different places where they seem to be coming from.
Some of the substances are more dangerous than others. You've got to know the differences. Different substances work better in different environments than others. You've got to know this. You know, it's not as simple as just buying a bag of rat poison, throwing it down, and that's it. You know, you've got to know about all the different substances and the active ingredients that's on the market. You know, to do it effectively.
Basically, what is going to happen is the labels of the products for professional use rodenticides will change, and they will start to have a warning, they will start to have information on about stewardship. So these newly labelled products will be coming onto the market. They're already on the market. The Bayer product line is already newly labelled with these warnings about stewardship, and as of the 1st of October going forward, then you'll find that all products, that rodenticide products on the market from then on, will have these stewardship requirements. And these stewardship requirements mean that whoever's purchasing those professional use products will need to have some form of qualification, some form of training that has been approved by the Campaign for Responsible Rodenticide Use, to show that they have the knowledge and the ability to understand how to use the product in an environmentally friendly way. So the countdown for that has started. So anybody who comes to buy pesticides, rodenticides especially, going forward from October this year, they might find that if they've not looked into this and they've not got one of these newly approved qualifications or a historic qualification that's been approved, then they may have a problem buying the product, because they will no longer be able to purchase it because they don't have the required qualification.
You always look at every environment differently, you know. I mean, you need to know even the things you can't see when you go on a job, like, is this area, does it flood regular, you know? You've got to know all this. If you know all this and you're trained and you know to look for all these things, then you won't get it going into, you know, the general environment. So, you know, training again.
There are several training providers, and there are several different courses available. They stretch from anything up to 5 days to an online course with an online examination. So it's all about rodenticide, it's all about controlling rodents. So that's the key at this moment in time. So people have to be aware of that, and they can go to the Crew website and they can find out the course that suits them. So going forward, people are going to have to look into this. Some farmers who are on an assurance scheme, they need to check with their assurance scheme, because they may have up to the end of next year to carry on purchasing and using these products, as long as their assurance scheme has submitted the standard to Crew. But they're going to have to check with their assurance scheme to make sure that's the case, because if it's not, then they may find that after October of this year, they struggle to buy the product because it's got the new label on it and they're not suitably qualified to purchase it.
The course, we looked at all the different methods and the different types of poison that we had, and the different ways of applying it and the application systems. We looked at the rats that, well, not just rats, but all the rodents we're trying to control, and we looked at their life cycles and how they actually breed and how we can best control them through different methods of applying the poisons, not just the different types of poisons that we can use and that are on offer to us.
Certainly our advice as an industry as well as a manufacturer is that all farmers need to get on board with this. They need to understand the safe use of rodenticides, how to use them, when to use them, where to use them, to ensure the long-term supply of products for them to use.